Hi everybody, welcome. I'm Letty. Thanks for coming today to watch this video. Today's class is going to be a yin practice, and it's going to be yin for our heart and small intestines, our pericardium, and our triple warmer meridian. So our heart, of course, circulates our blood, gives us nourishment into all the organs, and it works alongside the small intestine that is there to receive water and food and turn it into nourishment and or waste out of the small intestine. And the pericardium is a little sac that encloses your heart, and it protects it and also kind of keeps it in place. And then the triple warmer meridian is going to be the meridian that kind of works on our immune system and can affect your fight, flee, or freeze response. So we want to keep that unblocked so that we don't have stress, helps us fight stress, and we have a strong immunity system. So go ahead and gather some props around you to use. If you have a blanket, bring that. And then a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, don't worry. Just go grab one of your couch cushions. That would work just as well. And then also 2 blocks. And again, if you don't have blocks, then you might get some big thick books that are of the same width and depth, and bring that along. And then we'll get started with our yin practice for the heart and pericardium, the small intestine, and the triple warmer meridian. All right, so important to keep those all flowing. Remember, with yin, we hold the postures 2 to 5 minutes to allow the muscles to relax and to get into the deeper tissue, the tendons, the ligaments, the fascia, so that it can lengthen and maybe even reshape into another structure that'll provide more support for you, and the muscles can relax. So we'll add a little bit of stress to the muscles by holding the postures, by using compression, traction, resistance, and then after 2 or 3 minutes, the muscles let go and the deeper tissues begin to lengthen, relax, and maybe even reshape. All right, let's begin, everyone. Let's start in Virasana. We're going to sit up on our blocks. Put it right under your tailbone. And even if you can sit in Virasana, less is more. You don't want to go to your edge in yin. You might want to pull back a little bit and give yourself a little bit more ease. So I'm sitting up tall. Go ahead and inhale. Lengthen through the sides of my body. Lift the crown of my head. And let my pelvis root down. And just begin here, noticing your breath, your belly, your shoulders. And we'll begin by stretching our shoulders and neck just a bit. Inhale your right arm up to the sky, and then bend your elbow. Press the back of your head into your arm. Lengthen through the back of your neck. And try to bring your humerus bone, your upper arm bone, into your shoulder socket. Press the top of your head back. And then if possible, you might come into Gomukhasana arms, taking the bind. I'm not going to. I'm just going to reach behind me. And without going to my depth, to my full range of motion, I'm just going to stretch my chest forward, squeeze my shoulder blades, my scapulas together, and reach the back of my head into my palm. And just begin to stretch through the side body, softening the jaw. You might even open and close the jaw, close the eyes if that feels good. We'll hold this just for a minute or so. Beginning to relax the shoulders. Notice if you feel any tension. Try to send breath there. Begin to relax even a little deeper. See if you can pull back maybe 5 or 10% more. Just pull back. Remember, we don't need to go to our full range of motion. You want to feel the ease. You want to let the muscles relax. So little to no muscular expenditure. Just about 5 more breaths. And then I'm going to go ahead and exhale, relax. I'm just going to reach behind, maybe squeeze my shoulder blades together, lift my heart a little bit. A slight pull in of the abdominals, but very slight. I'm trying to save my muscular energy. And then we're going to switch to the opposite side. Inhale. Make your side body long, so lengthen through the intercostals, reach up without bringing the shoulder with you. And then bend your arm, press the back of the head into that. Reach down, plug in your humerus, head of the upper arm into your shoulder socket, and then reach maybe towards Gomukhasana arms. I'm tighter on this side, so I'm just going like mid-back. Once I find this, I'm going to inhale to lengthen, try to relax my shoulders, my jaw, close my eyes and feel into this posture. Where can I let go? Where am I clenching or gripping? That's where I need to send the prana, energy, the breath, and try to release so I can lengthen the ligaments that hold the muscle to bone, bone to muscle. Go a little bit deeper. Keep your breath steady, even inhales, even exhales. And scan the upper shoulders, the neck, the jaw. Where can you release? Just 5 more breaths. And slowly exhale, release. Walk your hands behind you, squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your heart. And then let go of that effort. And let's go ahead and come into child's pose. I'm going to move my block. And even if you can get into child's pose, let's use our bolster. So a couple of choices, knees wide. And go ahead and let my forehead drop on my shoulders. My arms reach out forward. And I pause here. Perhaps the ground still feels like it's too far away, or you're pregnant and you need to make room for baby. Then you'll put a block underneath your bolster, lengthening it, bringing it up a little bit, and then relax again. Breathe into your back body through the kidney band, through your rib cage, your back lungs, just feeling it expanding and releasing. Again, keeping the breath steady and even. Inhales and exhales. Feel the breath fill up the back body. Draw your shoulders away from your ears and release your weight onto the bolster. As you hold this posture, you'll notice your heart dropping down, your heartbeat maybe even slowing down. Sits bones on your heels and tailbone drawing back. Beginning to come a little deeper into your child's pose. And we'll begin to come out of this in just about 2 or 3 more breaths. Slowly make your way back up, inhaling. And just pause for a moment, hands on your thighs, softening. And then we'll go ahead and work the shoulders just a little bit more. I'm going to take my blanket, unfold it, place it under my knees and a little bit in front of me. We're coming into a thread the needle, but with child's pose. It won't be quite as deep. So I'm going to take my left hand under, right hand over, let my forehead drop, or my side of my head drop. If the ground is too far away, another blanket underneath the side of your head, or a block if it feels like it's crimping your neck. And then before you just collapse, take your top arm and just tint the fingers, kind of push the mat away, relax the shoulders. Focus on your breath. And then you can release that arm to the side or behind you. We're working the meridians of the small intestine, allowing the breath to flow freely. Again, noticing any tightening or tension, trying to work through that with breath, with prana. About 3 more breaths. And we're slowly going to inhale back up. Just press yourself back up. No hurry. And come back if this feels okay. Just hands on your thighs. Just kind of feel the shoulders opening. And then we'll go to the second side. Same action. Take the opposite arm underneath your shoulder and then see if your head can make it all the way down. If not, another blanket or block, all right? Less is more. Take your top arm, come to tinted fingers, push the mat away, find more length, more space, and then decide what you want to do with this top arm. Reach for your sacrum. Place it beside you or keep it in front. Wherever you are, trying to relax the shoulders. Working through the meridians in the small intestine. So it can serve us for receiving, digesting, nourishing. Just a few more breaths. And then slowly inhale back to center. We can sit back on our block in a Virasana shape. And just kind of feel that opening in the shoulders, the chest, the heart. Inhale, right arm up to the sky. Take the webbing of your index finger and thumb, place it on top of your ear, and then without pushing, let your right ear drop to right shoulder. Place a little bit of pressure with, again, not pushing, just with the weight of your hand, begin to release through the neck. Open, close the jaw. Let the opposite shoulder come away from the ear. And we'll just hold this for about 20 seconds. Slowly inhale up, taking your time to come out of it, lengthening through the sides of the neck, trying to release these big muscles that hold up our head. And then let's go the opposite side. Inhale, arm up, and spread index finger and thumb that goes right up over the top of our ear. And I fold my left ear down to my left shoulder. Let the weight of my hand provide a little bit of traction to release, lengthen through here. Left shoulder draws away from your ear. And keep the breath flowing. Always notice if the breath is becoming stuck. And that means to pull out a little bit. Slowly come on out and release. Yeah, all right. So let's begin a little bit of heart work, heart opening. Our first one is going to be our puppy pose, or anahata, our heart opening pose. So my arms are shoulder width apart, maybe even a little bit outer shoulder width. Let your tailbone reach up. It's wider than your tabletop. And I'm going to drop my forearms, let my tailbone lift, and then maybe my forehead. Again, you might want a blanket or block underneath. If you want a little bit more to the shoulders, you're going to let your chin drop first instead of the forehead. That'll put more pressure on the pecs, the deltoids. So draw the shoulders away from the ears if that's too much. Come back to the first one, forehead down. Remember, we will be holding it. Slowly come up your next inhale. Yeah, just feel, regroup. All right, so we're still going to work on our shoulders. I'm going to unfold this a little bit. And then have your blocks handy, or your books. Put them on the lowest level. Walk your knees back a little bit. My elbows drop onto my blocks, hands come to prayer, and I lift my tailbone. And then let your head drop between your elbows. Feel the stretch in the shoulder girdle. Hollow out your armpits, draw your shoulders away from your ears. And then without resisting the breath, without resisting those hard spots, just let your heart drop, tailbone lifts. If your shoulders are tight, this might be intense. If it's too much, take the elbows off the blocks. Next few breaths, you're slowly going to come out of it. Really trying to open through the shoulder girdle, give you space here. And then arms just reach out long. Chin drops, maybe forehead. Maybe letting the sits bones reach towards the heels. Slowly come up. Whew, nice job. I'm just going to reach my hands behind me, turn my fingertips, squeeze my shoulder blades. My scapulas come together as I lift my heart, lengthen the back of the neck. So we're really trying to get in here and open through the pecs, the deltoids, the armpit. Make space and make room where you get really congested and you're maybe even hunched over a little bit. We're trying to open that space to make room for the energy, the flow. All right, we'll do a few more heart openers, but let's go ahead and take your blanket and unfold it like mine so you have a big, long, rectangular shape. And if you have fringe on your blanket, we'll roll towards the fringe. Go ahead and begin to roll it like a Tootsie Roll. And I want it even, or like a fire log, if you don't know what Tootsie Rolls are, right? Make sure it's even. You don't have big bumps on it or like that. Smooth it out. And then have another block handy for our posture. So I'm going to take this and place it right behind my heart. Right behind my heart. I want it to be feeling my heart lift. My second block is going to hold my head either middle or high height. You kind of decide where that feels supportive. And let the heart lift. Should be right behind my heart. My heart's lifting. And my head may be dropping a little bit. I'm going to put it on the lower height. Arms to the side. And my knees are bent. If it doesn't bother the lower back, you might straighten the legs, but make sure that didn't put pressure on your lower back. Feeling our heart lift, our heart is supported. And we're stimulating through our spine, relaxing the shoulders down. Shoulders should be off the blanket. And you might make micro movements if that feels good. Lengthen the back of your neck. Let the back of your skull press into the block. The back of your heart into the blanket. Your hips, your pelvis relaxes down. And come back to the breath. Again, letting it flow evenly. Even inhales and exhales. Noticing if it gets stuck anywhere or stagnant, trying to smooth it out. Again, noticing your breath. Noticing if you're holding on anywhere. Are you gripping? Are you clenching a buttocks, cheek, your jaw, your shoulder? Send your breath there and release. Let it go. Feeling the stimulation behind your heart. Feeling the pulsation of your heart. We're slowly going to come out of it really slow. First by bending your knees if your legs were straight. Roll over to one side. And softly press yourself back up. Unfold your roll. Come onto your backs just for a moment. Kind of feel the earth below you. Just pausing in Shavasana. Just for a few moments to reassemble, reintegrate, reset. And go ahead and rock your feet to the right edge of your mat, far to the right. And then pick up your shoulders, rock them to the right. We're coming into Banana Asana. And then let's get the heart into it by inhaling, arms overhead. And see if it feels better to cross your ankles or maybe feet are parallel. This is totally a personal thing. Stretching through the rib cage, my lungs, lifting my hands, my arms above my heart. And then I'll reach for my left wrist and just gently lengthen through my side body. Breathe in as I lengthen, and then relax that grip, maybe even let go of the wrist. Let the left rib cage come back down, left lungs in our Banana Asana, making the shape of a banana. We'll slowly come out of it. Come back to Shavasana on our mat. Straighten out our bodies right in the center of our mat and just feel the earth below us. Feel the ground supporting us. Feeling a little bit more at ease. Feeling our body relax. Feeling the length we've created. And let's go opposite side. Rock your feet as far left as you can. And then just gently pick up your shoulders. Rock them to the left. Maybe cross your ankles or not. See what it feels like. Inhale, arms over your head, over your heart. Gently reach for your right wrist. Give it a little pull, just a gentle tug to feel that lengthen the side body. Expand through the right rib cage. And then release that bind. Let the forearms relax again. The right side body. Feeling that stretch all the way through the side body. Down our energy meridians. And then relax into this posture, Banana Asana. It's a good one to throw in even in your cool down part of your Vinyasa or Hatha classes. It's a good way to begin to cool the body, close class. Just a few more breaths. And come out of it. Uncross if the ankles are crossed. Come back to Shavasana. You might wiggle, feel the sensations. Relax your body into the mat. And then let's turn on to our bellies. We're going to find Sphinx pose to begin with. Rock your elbows directly under your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. And my legs are a little bit wider than in cobra pose. And look forward. I don't want to throw my head back and crunch my cervical spine and vertebra at C6, C7. Instead, I want to lengthen the back of my neck. Draw the back of my ears back. Draw my heart forward as we stay in this gentle back bend. Let your pubic bone, your pelvis root down into the mat, the blanket, and soften the buttocks, cheeks. Notice if you gripped, roll the shoulders away from the ears as you draw the heart forward. You're already in a back bend. Tops of your thighs should be all the way rooting down, your pelvis, your pubic bone, rooting down onto the mat. Slowly exhale to release. Stack your forearms, rest your forehead. maybe wobble the hips or windshield wiper the legs. And then come on up for one more back bend. It can be Sphinx again, or seal pose is one step further. It'll be a little bit deeper. Take your arms wide and forward. Now the closer I walk back to my waist, the more back bend. If your pelvis starts lifting or if it starts getting into your lower back, do less. Walk them forward and wider. And then let the chin release, maybe the neck. You might even find a little bit of motion here. Letting the head roll just a little bit. Left, right, or you might look straight forward. Again, relax the buttocks, the shoulders. Finding extension in the back body. Flexion in the front as our heart lifts. You can come out of it at any time if you feel like you can't hold it anymore. Three more breaths. And slowly release. Cross your forearms. Rest. Feeling that stretching of the back body. All right, let's do one more back bend. You might come up on all fours just to reset a little bit. I'm going to do a cat-cow, looking forward, tailbone lifts, not going to my depth, and then rounding, tucking the chin. Look over your right shoulder, over your left shoulder. And then pause. All right. For this next one, grab your couch cushion or your bolster. We're going to work the heart and the small intestine. And my bolster is going to go right over my thighs, right about top of my hip crease, but not on my belly. So play around with it so you get it just right. And then I'm going to cross right elbow over left, kind of an eagle arms. And my bolster is like too cumbersome. It's one of the really big, thick ones. So instead of my bolster, I'm going to use my blanket because that is lifting me too high. And take your eagle arms. Let your pelvis root down on the blanket. Your right elbow crossed over left, and maybe palms come together, but don't worry. And then let your heart drop. Roll your heart forward. Relax shoulders away from the ears. We won't stay here long. I know it can be intense. But remember a little bit of stress on the body so it can reshape, relax, renew. Few more breaths. And then slowly release. I'm just coming to my type of Sphinx, but my palms are together, releasing that stretch I just had in the shoulder girdle. Feeling maybe sensations or pulsations. And then we'll switch. Left over right, elbows stay on the mat. Maybe you bring the palms together. Maybe you're just in prayer with elbows down, but lift the heart. Feel the scapulas coming in opposite directions. Squeeze. Drop the forehead. Release the buttocks. Two more breaths. And come out of it, touch the palms, relax. Go ahead and move your bolster or blanket out of the way. Find Sphinx pose one more time, elbows under shoulders. And I'm going to do some gentle cat-cows here as I round. I lift and scoop my belly as if I could round my back. And as I inhale, I bring my heart forward, look forward. Do about 2 or 3 more of those. Just reset. Scoop the belly, round the back, chin to chest. Inhale, lengthen, draw your heart forward. And then finish up this set. Once you've finished your last cycle, come back to on your back. Have your bolster nearby or your blanket. I'm going to use my bolster underneath my knees to support me and unfold the blanket as a little pillow, but you don't want it too thick. Lay down. Get situated, feel heavy. Place your left hand over your heart space. Yin for the heart, our love, both for ourselves and for others, our compassion. Keeping the lines open to circulate, pump blood. And your small intestine, right hand, working with the heart to receive and use food and water for nourishment. And close your eyes and find your Shavasana. Letting the body relax, release completely into the earth. Feeling the ground below you, feeling what supports you. Gently press the back of the skull onto the mat. Open and close the jaw, release any tension that remains there. Wiggle the toes, the fingers, and then release. Feel your hips on the mat. Your lower back, middle back, upper back. Feel it release. Completely giving in to gravity, surrendering to stillness in your Shavasana. Letting the breath be long and steady, maybe deepening within the lungs. Letting go. And slowly, gently, begin to bring your awareness back to your breath, back to the physical body. Begin to find some small, gentle movements, Perhaps you touch your fingertips with your thumb, feeling that sensation, or brushing your thumb and fingertips up your arms. Point and flex the feet. Move so slowly and gently at first. Let your breath even out again. And then you'll go ahead and inhale, arms over your head, reach long from fingertips to toe tips. Make a fist and then release it. Point and flex your feet. With your exhale, hug the knees in, give yourself a squeeze. Feel the knees come into the chest, a big offer of gratitude to yourself. Taking the time to slow down, to reset the body, reshape, repattern, find health and healing. And then roll over to the right side, use your bottom arm as a pillow. Stay in a tucked fetal posture for a few breaths. This posture that represents nurturing, feeling held and safe. And slowly press back up to your most comfortable seat. Maybe find your blanket or your bolster and sit up tall. Maybe eyes stay closed or soft focus. Bring your hands to your heart center. Feeling all the pulsations, all the sensations within the body. Thankful for this practice of yin. The light and love inside of me respects and honors and sees the light and love inside of each and every one of you. Be well, everybody. Namaste. Thank you for coming.